This is Future Talk.
Future Talk.
Future Talk with Omnia Al Saleh and Hani Balkis.
Good afternoon, everyone, and happy Wednesday to everyone tuning in to us right now. I hope you're all having a blessed and productive afternoon and ready to find out about all that is happening in the tech world, in the UAE, and around the world. Big news is happening right here in the UAE because we're going to be talking about WhatsApp testing chat history migration through iPhone and Android devices. A lot of the times when people switch between one iPhone and the other, migrating their information from one device to another can be very seamless. But what about if you want to switch between two different smartphone industries? Can that process become a little bit simpler?
Yes, and we're also talking about Apple and how they want to use AR to make conversations a lot better. Now, who would know that artificial or augmented reality would be used to kind of make your conversations a lot more funner? But Omnia, there's a news that I want to tell you that I kind of kept as a surprise.
Okay.
Right? This is huge news. Now, today in the UAE, Omnia, the International Space Station will be visible to the naked eye.
Ooh.
Yes, at 7:48 p.m. today.
Well, now that is news that we want to definitely witness. At 7:48 p.m., we're going to be giving you right now all the details on what you can expect on this great accomplishment. But coming up on the show as well, today is just a very packed show because we're going to be talking about the usage of electric vehicles when it comes to waste management. Now, we have definitely seen Bee'ah's waste management trucks all around the Emirate of Sharjah and even all of the UAE, picking up trash, making sure that it's being disposed and recycled in the best way possible. But did you know that Tesla semi-trucks will soon become a part of that fleet? But also that there are many different autonomous vehicles that are currently being used that we are going to be telling you all about in just a few moments, because we're going to be speaking to the Director of Sustainable Mobility at Bee'ah, Mr. Nasir Al Shamsi, who's going to be telling us all that and more in just a few moments.
Yes, we're very excited to get into it with Nasir Al Shamsi. Very interesting topics for today, so keep Pulse 95 locked because we're going to be right back.
Daily digital news. Bits and bytes connect our world.
Bits and bytes do connect our world, ladies and gentlemen. You know what else connects us between one another? It's WhatsApp.
Yes.
Let's be 100% honest. We can talk to anyone, anywhere, anytime, any place through WhatsApp. Now, WhatsApp is going to test chat history migration between iPhone and Android devices. And this is actually very, very big news. Now, we do know that Facebook-owned WhatsApp is reportedly testing the ability to easily migrate chat history between an iPhone and an Android device.
Yes, indeed. And it's actually been doing that for quite some time. But now these efforts are finally paying off. So when you, as a user, you go ahead and you try to link your device with WhatsApp, whenever you want to change that phone, there's always a lot of struggle, because if you're going from one iPhone to the other, then all of your information will seamlessly transfer, since Apple does give you that option to be able to transfer your phone by simply putting both phones next to each other. But when you're going from iPhone to an Android, you can still transfer your information, but WhatsApp's chat history will not be transferred. So now, if you go ahead and you update your WhatsApp to the latest software update that's found on the App Store or even on a website called Test Flight, you can actually check out whether or not you are right now compatible to be able to test out this feature.
Yes, now we do know that if you have an iPhone, obviously, and you get a new phone, which would be an iPhone, and you do have that iCloud backup or WhatsApp history backup, you can get your old chats, right? But again, if you're moving to, say, example, Android to iPhone or iPhone to Android, you do not have that feature. You cannot get your old WhatsApp chats back, which is a very big issue to some people. Now, I have some information on my phone that if I was going to, let's say, for example, move to Android, and I couldn't get that information back, that would kind of put the brakes on it when it does come to moving or transferring phones. Now, the ability to use the same WhatsApp account on multiple devices is actually one of the most requested features by users, as well as an iPad version of Instagram, because we do know that Facebook owns Instagram and WhatsApp. So a lot of people are asking for that use. I mean, who wouldn't want WhatsApp on their iPad? I mean, we have it on our desktop, why not on our iPad?
I agree. And I'm just waiting for the day when we can actually use WhatsApp on multiple phones at the same time, because some people have a work phone and a personal phone, and it can be a little bit of a struggle not being able to have a WhatsApp on both phones at the same time if you're not using different numbers. But what's interesting about this feature is that this is not the first feature that WhatsApp has actually been launching. Lately, they've been trying to push for that e-commerce side of WhatsApp, but also try and make it a little bit more compatible with everyone. So last month, I think we were talking about WhatsApp allowing users to start shopping through the different business accounts, which was a great feature, especially for all those small businesses that wanted a way to take off into the e-commerce business, but had no way to do so.
Yes, I mean, we did actually see that problem in Facebook, or let's say Instagram and WhatsApp took that tackle, and now they're making it much easier for those businesses to do what they need to do best. I mean, I want to ask the listeners, though, the listeners on the radio or our audience on YouTube, have you ever had that problem where you bought a new phone and not being the same iOS, for example, Android to iOS? Did you have that problem and you say, man, I can't move my chats from one program to one phone to the other? And did you actually pass it? Because a lot of people actually found a way to kind of bypass that option. But it was, again, actually Android and iOS, or even WhatsApp, they label it as illegal.
Yes.
So it's not viable.
And what's interesting is that WhatsApp is now looking to implement this feature when Telegram and Signal have actually had it for quite some time. So,
I mean, if you guys don't know how powerful the privacy issue happened with WhatsApp, because it made Telegram's founder one of the most richest people in the world. They're now on the Forbes list of 112th richest person in the world. And Telegram's founder is actually a resident right here in the UAE, right? And he is now labeled as the richest man in the UAE.
Oh my God.
So, and how did he acquire so much fortune?
Because of a single privacy mishap.
That privacy feature that happened on WhatsApp, which made so many people move and download Telegram.
Yes, and Signal even. Signal actually gained fame within a few days, just like Zoom did when COVID-19 hit our lives.
Now, I do believe Signal, it kind of went down a little bit.
Yeah,
I deleted it off my phone. I haven't deleted Telegram, though, off my phone yet. And again, a lot of people I still get notifications. 123 has joined Telegram. Yeah, so I see a lot of people jumping on Telegram, but not actually using it to contact one another. But let us know your guys' thoughts, 4215, do it slots, or on our Instagram at Pulse95 Radio.
Coming up on the show, we're going to still be talking about conversations, because Apple wants to make those conversations basically come to life, because they're looking to implement our augmented reality into our own chats. Keep Pulse 95 locked. We'll be right back.
Daily digital news. Bits and bytes connect our world.
Your quick roundup of everything that is happening in the tech world, in the UAE and around the world. We tend to talk about augmented reality whenever we talk about gaming, mostly, or even driving cars nowadays. People say that you can soon be using augmented reality to be able to access maps. But Apple CEO Tim Cook actually found an opportunity to go ahead and use augmented reality in our conversations.
You know what I wish I could use augmented reality for right here, right now?
What?
The AC.
Again?
It's cold, man.
It is very cold.
Yes, it's very cold in the studio. But let's go and talk about Tim Cook and how he is saying that Apple wants to use AR to make conversations a lot better. Now, that CEO that rarely does provide details, we know that. He's always kind of a little bit shady. He likes to be that mysterious man that no one knows about. I mean, Tim, it doesn't work that way. You're like the CEO of Apple. We need to know what's going on. But again, when they don't have unannounced products, Tim doesn't like to talk a lot about it.
Yeah.
But he did offer some hints about Apple's thinking on augmented reality and even cars in an interview.
Yes, indeed. When it comes to augmented reality, Tim Cook actually said that this tech is critically important to Apple's future, especially when it comes to enhancing how we have conversations. So imagine us right now, you and I, Han, we're having a great conversation, but it would be even better if, let's say, I was texting you and I was able to go ahead and augment my chat, augment our discussion with, let's say, graphs, or maybe a video of me explaining something if I wanted to.
A heater.
Or someone's very cold. Or even allowing me to use augmented reality when it comes to discussing something about education, retail, health. being able to use different diagrams, different graphs, different charts in any conversation will definitely make explaining something a lot easier, especially in the time that we're living in right now. Distance learning is the new norm, and being able to use charts and diagrams when a student is asking a teacher will definitely make things a lot easier.
Now, for those who don't know, we already use AR every day, right? No one knows this, but we do. It's when we're talking about Snapchat filters, Instagram filters, TikTok filters. Those are all arms or branches of AR.
Yeah.
But again, we can go even further. And like Omnia said, we can have graphs, maps, things like this. And for in a car, that's amazing. But what if we had it all in the palm of our hands and our phone? So let's say, for example, for those who are watching us on YouTube, you can probably see what I'm about to do right now.
Pulse 95 Radio on YouTube.
Yes, we're always going to shout ourselves out because you guys do need to jump it on. For example, like Omnia, let's look at the graph, or let's say the listenership for this week, right? I bring it up, and you can then now see on my phone how we're looking at when it does come to viewership, for example.
Yeah.
And it's so much more interactive. That's number one. And number two, it does kind of get the bigger picture all together. It clarifies things.
100%. And Apple has actually been rumored for quite some time, years to be specific, that they are currently working on an augmented reality headset. Now, a lot of leaks were actually suggesting that there was going to be a mixed reality device in the pipeline that was gonna be launching next year. However, what we have seen, or what we can speculate from Tim Cook's words, is that augmented reality features will be available even more prominently on the iPhone and the iPad outside of the typical Snapchat filter, Instagram filters. Honey, Snapchat filters and Instagram filters with augmented reality, they can change a human being.
Yes, they change a lot. They make you a lot much nicer, or even a lot much, distorted per se. I know. I love. There's a filter for The Weeknd's face when he had that botched surgery. I used it. It's funny, but also there was something that is just coming back into life now. Earlier this year, Elon Musk actually said that they actually failed to sell Tesla to Apple all the way back in 2017. You know what Tim Cook said? He said, I've never spoken to Elon, right? Although I have great admiration and respect for the company he's built. So could it mean that Elon Musk was lying?
That's a very big speculation that we are looking at over here. Let us know your thoughts. Are you excited for Apple launching augmented reality onto our very own conversations? And what would you use it for? If you have a specific person in your life, your mother, your father,
your daughter,
loved one, daughter, that can sometimes drive you nuts over chat because they just don't get the point quick enough. Let us know who you would use augmented reality with.
Only knows I'm side-eyeing her right now.
Yes. Let us know who you would use it with. Our text lines are open, 4215. Do it to Salat or slide into our DMs at Pulse 95 Radio. Coming up is one of the most exciting conversations that we have lined up for you. We're going to be talking to the Director of Sustainable Mobility at Bee'ah Nasir Al Shamsi, who's going to be telling us all about their plans to deploy Tesla semi-trucks into Bee'ah's fleet of electric vehicles.
This is Future Talk. Future Talk.
Future Talk with Omnia Al Saleh and Hani Balkis.
Yes, you're listening to Future Talk right here on Pulse 95. Today's discussion is all about the use of electric vehicles, but more specifically when it comes to waste management. If you're living right here in the heart of Sharjah, you must have seen all the different waste management trucks, recycling bins that are spread all around the Emirate. And Bee'ah was actually the first company in the Middle East to go ahead and try and implement different electric vehicles, even Tesla semi-electric trucks, as part of its effort to go ahead and electrify its fleet. To tell us more about it, we have today with us the Director of Sustainable Mobility at Bee'ah, Nasir Al Shamsi, who has been, we've actually been very excited to talk to him about the different trucks that are available as part of Bee'ah's fleet, because let me tell you, they have quite a wide assortment, don't they, Hani?
Yes, they do. First of all, welcome to the show. We're really excited to have you on, Nasir.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Hani.
Yes, now let's go and talk about the fleet. How many trucks are we looking at?
So before actually going with the Tesla semis, or basically besides the Tesla semis, we have a wide variety of different types of waste collections, public cleansing vehicles. We have electric sweepers. We have electric litter pickers from Ducatis. We have autonomous. This is actually really cool. We have autonomous sweepers, which have a very uninteresting designation, and we just tend to call it a follow me sweeper.
Follow me.
Okay.
Follow me sweeper. Yeah. So the operator basically, walks around into alleys, on pavements, public roads, and the sweeper will just be
behind them.
Follow the operator, and will do its job, as in do the cleaning. We also have electric buggies and ATVs. And we ensure our deserts are clean. We ensure that Bee'ah has no limits when it comes to cleansing, and we never find, I would say, areas where we feel that we can or actually add value to the environment, basically by implementing different types of cleansing vehicles.
Now, one interesting fact that we heard about the electric vehicles that Bee'ah is deploying is that they're actually low noise and emissions free. Do you want to talk to us a little bit about how important it is to have both features implemented when it comes to waste management?
Okay. As Bee'ah, Bee'ah being a sustainability pioneer, it was really imperative for Bee'ah to improve and decarbonize its fleet operations. And therefore, we were the first in the region to deploy the fleet of low noise, emission-free electric vehicles.
Well, that's definitely exciting news to hear about right here in the heart of Sharjah. Coming up on the show, though, we're going to be talking about yet another great achievement that Bee'ah has been working on, and that will soon be coming to life as they look to deploy Tesla semi-trucks as part of their electric vehicle fleet. If you have any questions for Nasir Al Shamsi, make sure you share them with us at 4215 Do It Salat, or slide into our DMs at Pulse 95 Radio. Keep Pulse 95 locked. We'll be right back.
This is Future Talk.
Future Talk with Omnia Saleh and Hani Balkis.
Whenever we think of electric vehicles, we think of speed and we think of Tesla. But did you know that the first company in the Middle East to place an order for Tesla semi-electric trucks to be part of an effort to electrify the fleet of waste management trucks is actually Bee'ah? A lot of people must have come across the testing video that was actually showcasing those trucks' exceptional performance as they were going through the streets. Joining us today to tell us all about it is the Director of Sustainable Mobility at Bee'ah, Nasir Al Shamsi. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you.
You know, when we're talking about Tesla, we always think about, driving with no hands, right? Self-driving. And Nasir, during the break, he told us a very fun fact that I personally didn't know. And Nasir, if you'd like to give us that fact one more time.
Yeah. On an empty weight, the Tesla semi-truck can accelerate from 0 to 100 in less than 5 seconds.
And that's quicker than my car. My car that is not as heavy as those semi-trucks. But how many Tesla semi-trucks did Bee'ah actually order?
But whenever we speak about the Tesla semi-trucks, it's a matter of pride to us.
Yeah.
That first of all, we were the first company to place an order for 50 semi-trucks. And it's not only the first company, but it's the largest order that Tesla had received from the Middle East area. And it's like I said, it's a matter of a pride to us. This clearly demonstrates our commitment to the sustainability space and how we can improve the quality of life and decarbonize our operations when it comes to waste collection and disposal.
Yeah, now you told us about their speed. Now let's talk about how much load these trucks can handle.
They can easily haul close to 40 tons, which is an average to what the majority of long haulers would do.
Yeah, so we're looking at the same weight, right?
Yeah.
Faster, and even it's sustainable. You're not using diesel.
And the thing is, when it comes to using electric vehicles, the reason why Bee'ah is deploying them is to help with waste management. So it only makes sense that they also want to make sure that there are no carbon emissions that are also being produced. But can you tell us about some other benefits that people may not know about using Tesla semi-truck when it comes to waste management?
Well, it's not. It's first of all, I mean, you missed out one point that. Actually, it's a cost saving to us. If we look at the bigger picture, it's a cost saving to us. Because if you look at electric vehicles on the long run, there are hardly any running costs. There is no maintenance. It's only the electric motors that need to be greased every once in a while. But there are no maintenance associated to it. In addition to that, they can easily do on a single charge close to 800 kilometers.
Wow!
So that's even close to 23% difference when you compare it when you compare it to a normal ICE vehicle, or basically we call them internal combustion vehicles.
Yes.
Yeah.
Now, I would believe they're much safer as well on the road. Right, because you have all these sensors, and we do know in Tesla in general, safety. I think they were deemed last year's Tesla cars as the safest cars on the road.
They are because they are very smart, and they have cameras like 360 cameras all over the vehicle, and in many cases. Even your insurance rates, your insurance premium would definitely go down, because they know that these vehicles are really safe to be on the road. They are basically alert.
All the time. And, when you're talking about safety and speed, a lot of people may be wondering, when will this become a reality? So what are the plans on when we would actually receive the Tesla semi-trucks and they would become an official part of Bee'ah's electric vehicle fleet?
I think, or at least to our understanding with the Tesla US, the first batch of the Tesla semis should arrive in between Q1, Q2, 2022.
And Nasser, you actually drove one of those trucks.
Yeah, I did.
Can you tell us about your experience?
No, you see, like I mentioned, it was a pride, and it was the talk of the hour when we placed the order, and we received a special invitation to the Tesla factory in Fremont. And we never expected that we would actually have a hands-on the truck, because it was more of a tour on what they are actually doing and how does the production cycle happens. But then during the meeting, they called us out and they presented the truck to us. And
experience.
I'm telling you, I wouldn't shy away from driving it. It's driving, It's a techie. It's a tech. It's a really amazing vehicle.
I mean, I'm looking at the interior right now.
Yeah.
Right, you got that huge screen, and
it
looks awesome. I mean, it looks like if I saw this on the road, I would be amazed.
I mean, just looking at the video at how fast it was traveling and how huge it looked.
Yeah.
And it's silent.
Exactly. It's very low noise. So that's definitely going to be a very exciting achievement for Bee'ah, and hopefully they will arrive very safely and quite soon.
Yeah.
Coming up on the show, we're going to be asking the question that is going through the minds of many right now. It's great having electric vehicles. It's great having self-driving waste management cars. But what is going to happen to us humans? Are we going to be losing our jobs as these cars take over waste management? To find out about the answer to this question, keep Pulse 95 locked, because we'll be right back.
Check this out. Check this out. Pulse 95.
Will autonomous vehicles eliminate driving car jobs or even waste management jobs? That has definitely been a question going through my mind the entire time that we've been discussing it with the Director of Sustainable Mobility at Bee'ah Nasir Al Shamsi, because we've been talking all about Bee'ah being the first in the region to deploy a fleet of low-noise, emissions-free electric vehicles. Some of them are autonomous, others are not, but they all come with features that may include not necessarily needing human beings as much. Nasir, thank you so much for joining us today. And I wanted to ask you, when it comes to deploying these electric vehicles, and some of them are actually even autonomous, whether it was the autonomous litter picker or any other vehicle, do you think that humans will not be needed when it comes to these jobs?
I can't really say that they will not be needed. A human being at the end of the day, he will definitely need to be there to at least program the systems behind these autonomous sweepers, shuttles, vehicles. But think about it. If a routine job can be done by an autonomous system, why would a human be there rather than him being somewhere else doing a better job?
Yeah.
So think about it. When I was at the factory in Fremont, we met a company that actually have autonomous taxis driving from Los Angeles to Las Vegas.
Wow.
No drivers. It's a Tesla vehicle. No drivers. Fully autonomous. And I asked the same question, and he said, we would need the driver to do something else rather than him being, in the vehicle driving, because that could cause an accident.
Yeah.
If you think about it, what's the biggest when we look at accident rates? The majority of these accident rates are caused
Human
by
fault.
human error.
Yes.
If you eliminate that and look at the overall economy, I think that contributes really, that improves even the economy of the country.
Yeah.
And it's very interesting that you mentioned this, because a lot of people, whenever they think of self-driving cars, they think of what's going to happen when an accident happens. What if they kill human beings because they just don't know, a collision is about to happen, they don't know who to choose, pedestrian or the person in the car.
Correct.
But when we take into consideration how much error happens from us human beings, whether it's not paying attention to the road, texting or driving, statistics can definitely differ.
I mean, again, people lie, numbers don't. We've seen the numbers. Tesla cars are very safe, especially when they're going autonomous. And again, I've actually seen hands-on when Tesla cars, they detect, let's say, for example, caution, for example. They'll start braking and they'll take control of the wheel themselves. But again, I wanted to ask you a question, Nasir, about the future plans when it does come to electric vehicles and waste management.
I think at least within Bee'ah, our end goal is to automate as many processes as possible. If you look at the overall structure of Bee'ah is all about sustainability and digitization. And wherever digitization is needed, we will implement it. That's our two key pillars within Bee'ah. And I think we are I cannot disclose some of the really great things we are doing, but I'll just give you one example of what the outside world is doing when it comes to autonomous. People having they call it remote operation. So having let's say forklifts, for example, at facilities, but without anyone inside the forklift. But actually, the operator himself is sitting actually at home and operating. So you can imagine what's happening nowadays when people working from home, they will be operating from home.
Wow.
That's the future. That's where operation is going to be. It's going to be people being at home operating there, whether earth moving equipment, facility trucks, etc.
I mean, we've seen this actually in the medical field when surgeons would be a remote surgery would happen.
Yep.
So what? I mean, obviously, remote surgery is so much harder than operating a forklift, for example.
Yeah.
So why can't we use the same technology in a warehouse?
Exactly.
And it's crazy to see how big of a future we have when it comes to either hybrid working or even remote working, especially because of the COVID-19 pandemic.
Correct. That's a good example.
Yeah, it did escalate a lot of things.
Trends were already there, but they were just much more accelerated.
Yep.
Nasir Al Shamsi, Director of Sustainable Mobility at Bee'ah. It's been such a pleasure to get
Very
to
fun.
speak
Very
with
fun.
you today.
Thank you very much. Thank you. It's a pleasure.
To everyone tuning into us right now, thank you so much for lending us your ears for the hour. Future Talk is coming to an end, but we can't wait to catch up with you once again tomorrow. Same time, same place from 2 to 3 p.m. Until then, make sure you keep Pulse 95 locked because we have coming up the halftime show with Omar Al-Douri, the one and only place to be at 3. He's going to be giving you all the latest on what is happening in the sports industry as well as mental and physical health.
Yes, indeed. I hope you guys had a wonderful show. We had a wonderful show. We're always loving when we're talking about things happening in Sharjah because, you know, we are the heart of Sharjah. Pulse 95. We're going to be seeing you tomorrow. Same time, same place. Only here on Pulse 95.
If you liked this episode of Future Talk, drop a like and subscribe.
Pulse 95.
Be sure to follow us on Instagram for all our daily updates and top stories.